You wake up after a full 8 hours of sleep, meaning to start the day strong, but instead you reach for your phone. Before you even get out of bed, an hour has vanished into a bottomless feed of videos. You might call yourself lazy when that ambition evaporates, but this complete loss of motivation is a predictable biological response to your environment. Your brain is being flooded by cheap dopamine. These are low-effort, highly stimulating activities that artificially hijack your reward system, giving you a massive spike of pleasure for doing absolutely nothing. Modern digital platforms are actively engineered to deliver these unnatural spikes. Tech companies deploy teams of behavioral scientists to ensure their apps keep your dopamine levels redlined. Because your brain's baseline for pleasure gets artificially inflated by these endless cheap hits, normal productive tasks can't compete. Reading a book or doing your work now feels impossibly dull and physically exhausting. To understand how to reverse this exhaustion, we need to look at the mechanics of the brain. Dr. Anna Lemke, a psychiatrist at Stanford who specializes in addiction medicine, maps out exactly how this chemical hijacking works. This teeter-totter represents the brain's reward center. It acts as a sensitive scale that constantly seeks equilibrium. When you consume a fast hit of cheap dopamine from scrolling or eating junk food, that scale violently slams down on the pleasure side. But the brain always fights to restore balance, a process called homeostasis. To counter that massive spike of pleasure, your brain aggressively tips the scale in the exact opposite direction, leaving you stuck in a state of pain. This is the crash. Over time, your receptors adapt to these huge spikes through dopamine desensitization. Soon, you require larger and longer binges just to escape that pain state and feel normal again. That chronic brain fog, the irritation, and the sheer exhaustion you feel are the direct chemical symptoms of this continuous crash. You are trapped in a biological loop. We can retrain your brain to find joy and effort again using a 4-step recovery system. Step 1 is a strict 24 to 48-hour dopamine detox. For 1 to 2 days, you cut off all access to social media, video games, junk food, and mindless internet browsing. At first, you will feel intensely bored. You will likely become irritable and anxious. Do not fight these feelings. That withdrawal is the physical sensation of your brain's chemical baseline recalibrating. It means the process is working. Replace the cheap hits with slow, natural activities. Go for a long walk. Read a physical book. Write in a journal. Surviving this temporary 24-hour withdrawal is a mandatory prerequisite. You have to clear the system before everyday tasks can start to feel rewarding again. Once you've reset that baseline, you have to protect it. Step 2 secures the most vulnerable part of your day, the morning. For the first hour after waking up, you consume 0 screen time. Instead, get 10 minutes of direct sunlight to set your body clock and eat a high-protein breakfast. Avoiding that early morning screen prevents your dopamine scare from spiking and crashing before the workday even begins. Of course, cravings will still hit later in the day. Step 3 is how you handle them. Start a 10-minute timer like this when the urge to check your phone or grab a sugary snack strikes. Tell yourself you can have the reward, but you must wait 10 full minutes. During that window, execute a small physical task. Do 10 push-ups or tidy up a corner of your room. This severs the automatic neurological link between a notification ping and your reward. Together, these protocols teach your brain a crucial lesson. Chemical rewards must be earned through effort, rather than freely given on demand. Willpower alone will eventually fail. Step 4 is about engineering your environment so success becomes automatic. Start by making distraction less appealing. Switch your phone display entirely to grayscale and install app blockers to cut off access to your biggest time wasters. Next, create physical distance. Implement a hard ban on smartphones inside your bedroom after 8 p.m. This guarantees the high-quality sleep required to repair your dopamine receptors overnight. Finally, structure your workflow. Schedule your most difficult, demanding task for the very first part of your workday. Completing that hard task early generates a steady, lasting wave of earned dopamine. This builds a positive feedback loop, where your productivity fuels the focus you need for the rest of the day. That chronic lack of focus you've been fighting is a chemical reaction to an overstimulated world. It is not a flaw in your character. By executing this detox, winning your mornings, delaying your cravings, and building physical boundaries, you stop being a passive consumer of cheap pleasure. You become an active creator of your own satisfaction. I want you to pick exactly one difficult task to execute tomorrow morning, one real challenge that will earn you a genuine hit of dopamine. Right now, physically write that task down in a planner. Force yourself to be accountable to that single goal. You know exactly how the system works now. The only choice left is whether you take control of your own biology today or let your apps continue to control it for you.